Welcome to Freudenberg FNOK Morristown facility. This is the presentation for new hires and contractors regarding our safety and environmental practices. The intent of this presentation is to communicate to you all of our health and safety policies and our environmental policy, which are posted throughout the plant and available upon request. Regarding general safety, slips, trips, and falls are a leading cause of accidents in the workplace, accounting for at least 20% of all non-fatal injuries. This includes slipping from oil or other substances, trips over cables and cords, and falls from ladders and stairs. Slips, trips, and falls rank third overall in lost workdays. Your awareness is key in preventing these accidents. Avoid back injury by learning a few proper lifting techniques, like not lifting more than 35 pounds and bending at the knees, and no twisting or turning while lifting. Forklifts and mold carts are always moving on the shop floor. Be aware of your surroundings and yield for moving equipment. Moving equipment safety is the responsibility of both the equipment operators and the pedestrians. In the case of power outage, don't panic and stay at your workstation. In most instances, the power will come back on immediately. It's best to wait for instruction from your team lead and/or supervisor. It's important to know the risks associated with bloodborne pathogens. These are microorganisms that are transmitted through blood and other bodily fluids. It's important to take the following steps as they relate to bloodborne pathogens. First, be aware. These microorganisms could come from multiple sources. Second, ensure that any surfaces exposed be washed thoroughly with soap and water. And finally, seek medical treatment if you are exposed. Knowing the method that's used to communicate chemical hazards is critical to your safety. It's your responsibility to be aware of the use of HMIS labels or Hazardous Material Information System labels, and understanding the impact that a chemical has to your health, potential for fire, reactivity to other chemicals, and required personal protective equipment or PPE. Here are some examples of such labels. Prevent falling by following some simple guidelines. Ensure that when you are working above 4 feet, you are using adequate fall protection in the form of a harness or other safety equipment. Use of step ladders with sufficient railing is advised. Working in confined spaces requires extensive training and experience. This is not to be attempted otherwise. Observe all warning signs and be aware of potential hazards from confined spaces. Do not attempt to enter a confined space without the appropriate training and permit. Building modification, including any changes to the roof, floor, walls, utility, and HVAC systems, cannot be done without prior approval from the maintenance manager and/or the site manager. Lockout tagout is our practice of ensuring equipment is de-energized and cannot be operated while work on the equipment is being performed. Please observe the various types of lockout tagout labels and locking devices. When you see these, do not attempt to use the equipment. Accident reporting is critical to ensure that dangerous situations are identified and corrected as soon as possible. No matter how big or small the injury or near miss is, it must still be reported. Remember, we want you to report all near misses and accidents. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, encompasses many items for various jobs and/or areas in the facility. It's important to know that all visitors to the shop floor must remove any rings and ensure that safety glasses are worn. Some examples of PPE include safety toe shoes, safety glasses, and prescription glasses with hard plastic side shields, and also hearing protection in some areas. Further training with regard to the use of PPE will accompany any relevant job function or task. In the event of a fire or severe weather emergency, it's important to know and follow the correct procedure. Our severe weather shelter is in the cafeteria located on the east side of the building. Our evacuation area is located on the southeast corner of the property. When a fire or emergency happens, you will hear the following emergency tone. You will also notice flashing lights from the indicators. Proceed to the nearest exit and meet at the evacuation point indicated on the previous map. During a severe weather emergency, you will hear the following instruction.
This is a severe weather warning. Proceed to a severe weather shelter immediately.
Proceed to the location indicated on the previous map. First aid kits and automated external defibrillator, or AED kits, are in specific locations throughout the facility. Note the location of AED kits indicated by the red dots. Also, note the location of first aid kits indicated by the red dots. Here at Freudenberg Morristown, we have a system for ensuring that any emergency is quickly communicated and responded to. This is known as Code Blue. This is a phrase that's communicated over the intercom when someone is injured or trapped. When this message is communicated, the appropriate team will respond. When extraction from equipment is necessary, our response team utilizes one of many extraction carts, shown below. These carts have all the tools required to safely remove someone from a piece of equipment. Please note, the items on the cart are to be used during an emergency only. The carts are at the locations shown by the red dots. Spills happen. There are specially trained personnel who are equipped to deal with these situations. No matter how small, every chemical spill should be reported to a supervisor or manager right away. Please note, these spills can also create a slip hazard when not cleaned. At this facility, there is a paint application room that contains solvents. These solvents can explode with any ignition source. In order to protect the safety of our visitors and employees, it's critical that no electronics be used inside of this paint application room. Cell phones are a good example of a prohibited device inside of this room. If this requirement is ignored, the results could be explosive. There are many employee policies at our facility. In the next few moments, we will discuss the policies that have a direct impact to the safety of our employees and visitors. The first one we are going to discuss is the policy against tobacco use, including e-cigarettes, and against alcohol. The use of either is not permitted on the property. The next policy deals with cell phone use. Employees who work on the shop floor are prohibited from using cell phones. This is intended to prevent distractions when walking in areas that are shared by movable equipment. Please note, cell phone use is allowed by managers, supervisors, and maintenance for the purpose of work-related communication. This should only happen outside of main walkways. Another critical policy to be aware of is our anti-harassment policy. At our facility, we have a zero tolerance for all forms of harassment, and any harassment should be reported to a supervisor and/or manager. Your actions and awareness are the best prevention against harassment. Our security is top priority here at Freudenberg Morristown. We utilize keycard door locks to ensure there are no unauthorized visitors. Security cameras that are recording 24/7 are utilized throughout the interior and exterior of the facility. These security measures help to ensure a safe and productive environment for our employees and visitors. It's important to know the rules for parking and facility access. Parking should only be done in designated areas. Our speed limit on the property is 10 miles per hour. Your cooperation will help to prevent any unintended parking situations. Please note the areas restricted to parking and travel in red. and main entry and exit road in green. Also, contractors should avoid parking in the main employee parking lot when possible. Thank you.